Hey guys, Nick Horton here, the Iron Samurai, and this is another episode of Weightlifting Academy. The exercise that I'm going to show you today is really just a variant of an upright row, but I've changed its name to a swan row for a couple of key reasons. The most important is that I want you to do this variant of an upright row in a really meticulous way. Specifically, what I want you to do is to move your body in precisely the same way as you do in a swan pull, which is an exercise that I've shown you how to do in the past. In fact, I gave you two different variants of swan pulls that I used as ways of getting you better at T-spine extension and scapular retraction. Now, what's really cool is that, and this is the sneaky part, is that this is also something that happens during the third pull of Olympic weightlifting. It's just that I don't want you thinking about that. I want you to just focus on learning how to do this exercise all on its own and get really good at it, and don't connect it in your brain to the snatch or the clean. Problem is, if you don't know how to use your upper body correctly, if your mind-body connection isn't set up the way that it should be, then you can use these different exercises to get yourself to that point so that when you're learning the technique of the third pull on the Olympic lifts, you will actually be able to do them correctly with the right body control that maybe wasn't coming as naturally to you before. The most important thing I want you to pay attention to, actually, before we even get started, is a safety concern. I want you to focus on what's happening down here in her body. What she's done is she's locked in her quads, her booty, and her core as tight as she possibly can. This means she's not going to let them move the whole time, because what I'd never want to see is a lower back hyperextension. That's absolutely not part of this exercise. Avoid that. That way you can avoid injury. The only movement that's going to be going on is going to be in the other parts of your body that come from here up. What happens there is you're going to be focused on doing essentially a swan pull that you've turned into a full row. So when you're up here, the real goal of this lift is not what happens from here to here. What matters is what happens from here back. From here back, pretend that it's actually attached to a cable or a stretch band, and your goal is to pull it back right there to the base of your neck, essentially the same place where you would rack a clean. Now notice what happens at the top when she does that. It looks like a swan pull. She's got that maximum T-spine extension and scapular retraction going on. So there, look at that, elbows are going back, everything's back. She's just thinking, pull the bar back, pull the bar back, pull the bar back. What happens if you don't do that? And instead, you just try to explode the bar up and let it float after it goes about right there. I promise you, it's going to smack you in the teeth. I don't want that to happen because your teeth are so pretty and I don't want to ruin them for you. So instead of thinking of pulling the bar upwards, think of pulling the bar back right from the beginning, because what happens from here to here is not very important. What happens from here up is extremely important. That's the actual rowing motion. It's rowing back into your body with that barbell as though it's attached up here, just like a swan pull.